Hello and welcome to Cigar Box Guitars, aka Dutchman in San Marcos. Good to see you again. Got some things to go over with progress. Not a lot of progress because ran into some other snags. Actually, with the putty, like I showed you on my little short. So let's get go. All right, here we go. Like I was saying, I almost used up the rest of my, this other putty that I bought. That little putty, a jar I had, was non-hardening. Isn't that weird? I came back to this and I touched it after a couple hours, and I touched it, and I'm like, it's still tacking. And I looked at the jar with such small lettering. Right underneath it said non-hardening. I'm like, that'll never harden. So I don't know where you would use that if you were going to paint this and you wanted to fill this up, but you didn't want it to get hard and crack. I guess you put them in holes like that. But so we were working on the neck. I got a pretty good fill on it. As you can see, it's gonna level out nice. This border might be a little warped. I might need a little more sanding on it. But as you can see, it came out a lot better. I might have a little high spot right here. But in that, going back and trading that stuff in, I don't know, maybe some of you can comment and write in where they get sandpaper with the adhesive back. They don't sell it at Home Depot. I didn't check Lowell's, but I'm having a hard time finding that. And I keep seeing these, you watch these guitar luthiers and other cigar box guys, and they keep using that adhesive back sandpaper. And so I can't find that anywhere. So I thought, well, what else can I get? Well, I found, looking in the sandpaper section at Lowe's, I found this. These are a new type of, you're supposed to get more use out of them, sandpaper. I'm not sponsored by it, because I just found them. And you get a block. You can get more screens. You get a block, and these things just fit right on there, like that. And the block, this part is pretty hard, and then it has a soft side too. See, it has a soft side, so you could go around curves. And this was 80 grit. So you get an 80 grit one. And they give you quite a few, so you can grade down. I thought it was a pretty good deal if instead of buying all kinds of sandpaper. They have 2 of the 80 grit, and then they have 120, and then only one 220 grit. So yeah, so I'm gonna give these a try. So far, the 80 grit one. You can see I already used this one, and it still looks really good. There's a few pieces stuck down in there. So this is the 80 grit, and that way I was able to sand this a lot smoother. Let me get this set up here, and a lot level. As you can see, it works pretty well. And I'm not pushing real hard. So hang on here a minute, let me turn my vacuum on here. I'm kind of like living in a submarine here. Hang on a minute. And then you just vacuum it off and it's not clogged. One of my vacuums I recycled. It's actually a canister one that's supposed to be on wheels, and I just have it sitting on the shelf. So let's see what that little bit did to it. Oh man, that's bringing it right in there. So this is the high spot. This is the high spot right in here. I got filler right here. So I just got to get this spot down a little more, and I think it'll go. I think there's enough there where I can pull it down when I glue it. So that solved that problem. I still have to decide what I'm gonna do when I mount it in the boxes. I want to do a piece of this, so I got something to mount the bridge when it comes through here. So maybe what I'll do is put this in the top. I don't know. I gotta think about that, because that'll be a little different. What I want to do is be able to come up with a set pattern of making these, so I can get them in the boxes easier. But see, each cigar box is different, because this lid the top doesn't come all the way down, and so I have to have my wood. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I got to think that over. I got to have my wood, so when I screw this down, it'll be solid, because this right here is pretty thin. So we'll work on that. And just wanted to show you another little project I'm working on. I found an old. Let me turn you here. I found an old bicycle carriage that I could hook up to my bike, for when I go busking. So I'm building like I'm building a little base for it, as you can see here. These have got all circles cut in, because they're actually out of wine crates. In fact, the wine crates that I have for my effects and for my other one, there's probably one or two pieces of that. I also got from Total Wine, I got a wine crate too. See, I got a wine crate, and you can see that's where those bottle thing separators went in. So then we'll put this on the cart like this with the wheels, and then I can set stuff in there. I have two other ones. I have this one here too. I think I found this one at a swap meet. You can see they're pretty nice boxes. But so you can see here that this has slots for those things to go down, and that's where I got those slots from. So I got another one about that same size down there, but we're going to put those together so I can carry my cigar boxes and my busking rig down to San Marcos, where I play in the little square. It's between a coffee shop and a pizza place, and they have outdoor seatings for those, and they have a little stage there. And so I'm gonna get that together so when it gets a little warmer. It's still kind of cold here in California. Cold to us is kind of relative, though. You know, cold to us is like 65 is a cold day, and so when it gets starting to get warmer, then I can go down there and do a little more busking outside. So I think California finally got to me. My Midwest tolerance to cold is gone. I still go, oh, it's cold now, but it really isn't for the people who live in other parts of the country. We get kind of spoiled with warm weather. But so that's another little side project I'm working on, putting that together so I can strap all my stuff to the little cart and pull it behind my bike, and then it'll get there a lot quicker. I did buy a little dolly the one time I did it. If you went back to Dutchman and San Marcos, actually on that channel, I can't post to that channel anymore, but if you actually went back to that channel, there's one showgram of me busking down there, and that's the only one I did. So, but I had a little cart that I pulled everything, and I think when I was done, my wife gets home in the afternoon. I actually had her stop there and pick me up and took it all in the car because it was quite a little bit of walk up and down the hill. But so that'll be good if we put that together, and so we can get going on that. So when you come back from this, I'm going to be working on slotting this guy. You can see I already got. And for this one, for the guy that I'm doing it, he doesn't know how to play cigar box guitar, so I'm going to give him the blues scale neck, which is easier to play, and tune it E, B, E. Now, if any of you tune your cigar boxes out there E, B, E, put in the comments on what gauges you're using for E, B, E. And I like it. I like the sound of the wound ones, not just a straight, wire. Well, those are usually on the higher notes. And let me know what gauges or what set I can buy. I got some strings from CB Giddy, but they're on the higher end and they keep snapping, which I'd rather go lower tuning because I like the bass of the EBE, and that's easier to play if you're a guitar player, from what Dale Puckett says, or there's another guy, this Southern Fire cigar box, talks about it too. But so let me know if you know anything about those. Like I said, this is coming out, but I discovered a new kind of a sanding method with these. I still considering, in fact, I was looking at Hobo Freight for a table saw. They've got one like $127, but the problem with Hobo Freight is you get what you pay for, and I don't want to sink that kind of money into a table saw and then have it freak out on me, because I've had other electric equipment actually just wear out and break really quick. I had a grinder that did that, where it burned all the brushes out and it just got loose. And like I said, I got a lot of work out of it, but when I started using it heavier, I was using it for metal, and I built somebody a handrails, and so I was using it a lot more, and it just wore the thing out. Also, I was tearing apart an old Jeep, and I was using that to cut things off, and it just it served its purpose for a while, but it didn't last as long as I would have liked for the investment I put into it. So if any of you know, I might start checking, because I want a smaller one. I don't have, as you can see, my garage is crowded. I don't have a lot of space for a table saw. Something more, they sell like those portable table saws, which are a lot smaller, but I'm really thinking about getting into it, because when I was trying to slice that one piece this way, if I had a table saw to push it through, I think I could have done it. So the bandsaw, it's not a fancy one. It doesn't have real good guides for that blade. The blade has a lot of variability. So if any of you know what one I should get, now it's funny because Hobo Freight makes a little more expensive one, which I think that one's supposed to be their more quality one. They got two different lines. So kind of going back and forth on it, but if anybody got some opinions about them, or if otherwise I'll just start searching, you know, the interwebs for like a used one, because this Craftsman chop saw I have, that one right, this one right here, I got that at a flea market for practically nothing. I think it was $30, and it's worked great so far. I put a real good blade. It was this brand. I don't know how you say it. It was that brand of blade. They make really nice saw blades, and it's held up for me really well. So I might, if I could find something used, I might go that route. So that'll be the show this week. Sorry I didn't have more done on this. I kind of, when you run into a snag, you waste your time trying to figure it out, and that's what happened to me here. But I got it figured out, which was a good thing, because I know I have to have this really level before I go any further. Otherwise you get past that point with everything else, and then you got to make a new neck, like I did with the Oops. That one's still playing now. I should bring it out here one of these days and play it for you as I'm closing. So, hey, I'm getting more subscribers, so be sure you subscribe. Tell your friends, family, friends, neighbors, anybody that's interested in DIY projects. I've had some comments and I'm able to reply back, so keep commenting. I like those. One guy said the pins didn't work for him either on the neck, and that was like, oh man, that's some good moral support, because I just thought, well, maybe I'm just being all thumbs, but if I heard that it didn't work for somebody else, it's like, hey, I don't feel as bad at trying to get that done, because I've seen other ways where you actually clamp it down to a bench, like, you know, you clamp it down to a bench like this, and then hold everything with clamps so it's not going to move. So anyways, so that'll be the show. That'll be the show. Every time you see me looking and I'm talking and I run out of stuff, I'm looking for this guy. This is my video editor, so if I chop it up while I'm doing it, I don't have to chop it later. So I probably should make it a little nicer when I'm got blanks. I should edit that out, which I could, but this way I can do it a lot quicker and spend more time working on this stuff. So we'll see you next week with more progress on the ducks. Like I said, I've got some decisions to make of how I'm going to block the box and measure and cut it. So we're going to be getting to that next, of actually getting this installed in the box, and getting the fret slots cut for this so we can glue everything on. All right, so have a great one, and we will see you in a week. So it's always good to see you out there, and take care.